Hello again, YouTube. So today I'm going to be doing a Buddy Club ball joint. These are the roll center adjusting ones. As you can see, they are used. These were off of my setup, 2018-2019 setup. My 4-on-100 Integra GSR knuckles. But I'm upgrading now to the 97 to 2001 CRV. It's the biggest wheel bearing that they put in these spindles. It was done to, I believe it was done to work with the larger axle shafts. So these CRV hubs and knuckles run the 36, commonly called the 36 mil axle. It uses the 36 mil nut instead of the 34 mil nut. It's a bigger spline shaft. And thus a bigger wheel bearing as well. Other benefit of that is 5 on 114.3. That is the most common wheel stud pattern you can get. Really easy to get big wheels for. Lots of options from crazy cheap to crazy expensive, lightweight Volks, stuff like that. I'm kind of aiming to go with an in-between middle of the road type wheel. Don't have those wheels yet. Don't really know where that's going to end up, but working on that as well. I want to get my brake upgrade on here first just to make sure that this brake caliper will fit inside the wheels I'm planning on going with. So I've also got, these are the CRV spindles. I don't have the hubs here right now. Actually, they're off at the machine shop getting some work done to them for the big brake kit. As you can see, I cleaned them up. They've got a new coat of, I think I used chassis saver on them. It's like POR 15 basically, just to fresh them up a little bit, make things clean. It's a track car. Yeah, mine's a budget track car and stuff, but I still like to have things clean and easy to work on. Paint makes a huge difference with this stuff. Better surface, easier to clean, so on and so forth. It looks so much better too. So let's see what we can do with this ball joint. Need to get this ball joint back in here. Don't have the tool for it. Don't have a press. So we'll see what we can jury rig and come up with. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so I'm having a hard time finding anything that's going to work to press the ball joint into the arm. As you can see, here's the ball joint, here's the arm. And it's got about 3/4 of an inch that needs to press in. Issue is the length here. I've got this that I can use, but it's too long. And I can't cut anything in here at this time of night because it's like 10:30 at night. In my parents' neighborhood. Nobody's gonna like that. So what I'm looking at is I've got the old wheel bearings out of these. So I'm gonna knock the inner sleeve out. I don't really need to do that, but what I'm planning to do is just tack welding these together. So it gives me that height. Still might be too tall though. Let me work on this a little bit more and see what I can do. Okay, I think I came up with something. So these inner wheel bearings, we've got the inner race. The inner race slips cleanly in here. Now the issue is this line here that you can see is where the C-clip goes in, that once this is pressed and holds in place. So I know that that's as far through as this is going to go through the arm. But I need this to be deep enough that I don't have this poking through on the outside, because the way I need to press this in, I need to clear this. So I'm going to try getting the other race that I have, stacking them, and we'll see how that does. So let me grab that quickly. So probably fast forward this part a little bit. Okay, got both races out. See what our height looks like here. Yeah, height's looking good. So it covers the race. Now I just have to figure out some way to space it so that the ball joint rod part can poke through when I put in the vise here. So let me figure that out now. Okay, I think I got this. So wheel bearing inner race, wheel bearing inner race, exhaust flange off my Skunk 2 Alpha header from my Kswap. I ended up going V-band on mine, so I cut this off. Then I've got a sealed driver that's got a hole in it that's good for this to come through, and then a big nut to space the last little bit that I need. So let's see if we can make this work. Okay, apparently not. Let me see. Okay, I think I came up with something here. So, let me get over here, better view. So as you can see, ball joint's getting pushed by the vise on this side. Spindle's getting pushed by this side, and I don't have any force on the center part of the ball joint where you can damage it. So, and I'm being careful that I don't mar this up here, because this is actually where it sits in the hub. So, the lower control arm, sorry. So we'll see how this goes. I'll probably So reset, had to put my other race in here because I bottomed out on the inner part of the ball joint. So keep going here. Okay, done. Just seated all the way. Let's take it apart and make sure. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it here, but here's my groove that the snap ring goes into, and it's seated all the way around. So sweet, that worked out pretty good. Okay, ball joint's now seated in where I want it to be and where it needs to be. Obviously you can tell on these Buddy Club ball joints, the roll center adjusting ones, they use a C-clip to hold the ball joint in place. I don't know if you can see it there. I know the factory ones that I pressed out or that I knocked out of here, I just used a big hammer to knock them out because they were garbage. They don't have anything holding it on, it's just a friction fit. All of the aftermarket ones that I've installed though, they all have some sort of snap ring or spring clamp or something like that to hold them in place. These Buddy Clubs, we're just going to use this. So I'll quickly put this on here. Hopefully I don't take an eye out. So these are just some old Blue Point snap ring pliers that I have. C-clip in place. Now you gotta be careful because if this goes flying, it is going flying. Good luck finding it. So get her in here. So I got it seated on the shaft here. Now what I can do is I can just use my brass drift and just should be able to just gently tap around the outside here. Okay, let's give her a little tap. So on the opposite side of where the open ears are, give it a little tap here just to make sure it's seated in. And we're good. One ball joint in, success. Obviously, as you can see, there's no boots on here. The boots got absolutely destroyed with the heat off the brakes. It actually caught the boot on fire on one side, and the boot was completely gone. Not completely gone, but more than half of it was burnt away and well and split. So they're garbage. I'm just gonna put some generic ones on here when I put this back together. So if anybody questions that in the comments, I'll circumvent you right there. I'm replacing them. Okay, everybody, that concludes this episode. So I'm kind of going through and just chronicling all the work that I do on this car now to get it ready for the 2020 season. Kind of doing it more as a diary and a build log for myself. Forums, obviously, those of you that remember them are all gone or dead for the most part, thanks to some photo sharing, hosting groups that have made it outrageously expensive to host photos. So YouTube's the new deal. So thank you for joining and following along. Like I said, budget car, sort of budget tools. Yeah, I've got a hoist in this garage, but I don't use this as my primary garage. I use my single car garage at home. Tools used today, a couple inner wheel bearing races that I took out of these hubs. Snap ring pliers, brass drift, overkill hammer for the C-clips. So probably don't need a 3-pound sledgehammer for that. You can actually probably just do it by hand, but I'm weak and 3 pounds of convincing seems to work pretty well on them. So like and subscribe if you want to see the rest of this. Next one, I'm going to be putting ball joints into these bad boys. Sorry, wheel bearings, not ball joints. We just did that. Anyways, like, subscribe. See you guys in a few days. Just waiting for these wheel bearings to come in. So as soon as they come in, we'll see what kind of garage mechanics we can get up to with them. Okay, cool. See you guys. Bye.